Okay, now I'm reading from Romans 1, verse 28, that says, "And even as they did not like to retain, for which is defined as to keep in possession or use, God, for whom is defined as the being perfect in power, wisdom, and goodness, who is worshipped as in Judaism, Christianity, Islam, and Hinduism, as creator and ruler of the universe. Therefore, how could I be worshipped by all if I didn't legally sue all that worship anything other than me in their knowledge? God, for whom is defined as the supreme or ultimate reality, gave them over to a reprobate, for which is defined as an unprincipled or deprived mind, to do those things which are not fitting." Those things which aren't fitting. I thought it was something else, but it's not. So, okay, that's what I'm saying. So I have to read, because before, when they had my computers, before they detained me and stole my computers, see, I could then read straight from the scriptures without having to flip back and forth. But this is what I'm trying to show the kids. See, when you can read and write, you can then write it and then read from it. You see what I'm saying? Now, the pronunciation, sometimes I get caught up on that because I get caught up in the moment. Because, like I say, I don't really like doing this, right? But it's therapy for me, because I don't, like, how do I talk to somebody without getting frustrated that they won't help me, right? I'm saying I want to go back to my wife and my kids, but you just want me to sit here and talk to you. That's what I'm telling them people who had me in a mental hospital there. I'm saying, well, man, you had me in a mental hospital saying that the Winter Park Police Department put me in here, but I'm telling y'all that the Winter Park Police Department know that it's a crime being committed against me. So you let the police who committed the crime against me put me in a mental hospital, and that's not kidnapping. But then you had me in the mental hospital for 72 hours, and that's not aiding and abetting the state of Florida and kidnapping me. That's not obstruction of justice, man, right? Like, so now, if in Romans 1, which is from Saul, for whom changed his name to Paul, so why these people not letting my truth convert them from the lie that they telling on me? Why y'all not understanding that these people is saying that they are helping people with mental problems, but they trying to give me one? So how you helping somebody and hurting me? See, that's what I'm saying. And then every time I read the Bible, I see the spirit that is trying to hurt me. And I'm saying, well, they say don't be against flesh and bone, but what about mental corruption? Is not mental corruption done by flesh and bone? See, how can you have a corrupt principality if the people who are controlling the principality is not flesh and bone, right? So these governors are not human beings. So then did they not slander the principalities? See, if you do not see the human being slandering the principalities, then the principalities will never be able to help like they were designed to help. See, governments are supposed to help the citizens, but the government get full of itself, because the citizen who becomes the elected official then abuses their power, because they think that they now have power over the citizens. But really and in truth, they are really employees of those for whom they abuse. So now when somebody like me, for whom is a citizen, stand up for their rights, then they also showing those who are abusing the positions that they have been elected to. See what I'm saying? So Romans 1, verse 28, and even as they did not like to retain, you see what I'm saying, God, right? And then I wrote stuff with it, but gave them over to a debase. Now this is another, like I say, it's so many that, like the King James Version says, to reprobate, and this other one, I think it was the New King James said to debase, and that's for which is defined as to lower in status, esteem, quality, or character. You see what I'm saying? So these people done changed what the scripture said, but I mean, what can you do other than use what's provided? See, that's why I'm providing new understanding from my understanding that was then I had to use as this New Testament. See what I'm saying? So that's why I'm saying Revelation. See, I'm reading in my understanding. That's what I'm saying. Cause this is your understanding. Cause you read this to show yourself approved. But how can you comprehend if you don't know the meaning? So that's why I teach it like this. Romans 1 verse 28, and even as they did not like to retain, for which is defined as to keep in possession or use, right? So that's what retain means, to keep in possession or use, right? And then it says God. So they don't like to keep in possession or use God. Now they like to use God in their own prosperity building, right? See, they sell God to you, but they don't be God to you. See, like, my children did not have to pay me to love them. My children was born in love, right? So when my children were born, I had to provide for those that I love. So why would then they have to provide 10% of anything to me? Right? I want them to give that 10% back to themselves so I can have something to be proud of. See, that's what I'm saying. All I want to do is say what my daughter do and be proud of it. I don't want to say what my daughter did and be ashamed of it. You see what I'm saying? Or I don't want to say, somebody tell me about my son and I'm not proud of what they saying. So I have to give them 10% of me. You see what I'm saying? And that's when I had to get off the overtime list and come home and help my son because my son needed me. He was only going to be in that situation that time. So I couldn't wait until another time. I had to be home that time. See, so I had to sell my Corvette. I had a 1992 Corvette. I sold it so I could come home and be a father. See, because my son was having problems with the FCAT, and I knew that he needed himself. So if I am his image, then I had to come home and help my image be himself. See what I'm saying? So God, for whom is defined as the being in my son's life, perfect in power, wisdom, and goodness, who is worshiped. Now, how can my son worship me if I didn't spend the time? See, he wouldn't even know his value if I didn't show him value. See, so that's what I'm saying. Now, this God is for whom is defined as the being perfect in power, wisdom, and goodness, who is worshiped as in Judaism, Christianity, Islam, and Hinduism. Now, that God, these are his children, right? Say if his children's name was Judaism, Christianity, Islam, and Hinduism, that would be 4 children. Now, how could God love any child any differently and he be a good father? See, the child has to dictate the love of the father. That's what I was showing my children. If you do what you're supposed to do, then you're going to get love without correction. Because why would I correct you when you don't need correction? But now, if you're not doing what you're supposed to do, you're going to get love with correction. See, now you mad at me, but I'm hurt by you. Because why did you make me have to correct you, right? See, if you love me, you supposed to do what's right, right? So you can get the love that you say you deserve. But if you acting out, then why you think you're not going to get dealt with? See what I'm saying? So if I let my son get away with it when he was young, well, what happened when he look at me eye to eye and he don't respect me? See, that's what I'm saying. Image. I got to be a mirror image of my boy. So if I don't teach him how to respect me, he ain't gonna know how to respect himself. See? So the fight of a father is to raise his image to not be as ignorant as he once was. So we coming together, but I'm older than him, but I know where he been and I'm trying to keep him right. But see, you got that outside reflections like mirror, rocks throwing on the mirror, and they trying to break me. But I'm saying, well, if you break me, you break my image. And so then that's when the black man who throwing the rock saying he think he all that. But I'm saying, brother, I got a smaller image. And if you break this image, the glass might cut him in two.